Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about Transformers because I love Transformers, right? I collect Transformers. For those of you who watch the occasional live streams, you know, my office is like freaking full of Transformers. And yeah, you know, Transformers 1, I was not impressed with the initial trailer for it. I think we did a trailer reaction. I thought it looked very juvenile and very childish. But again, you know, we had to realize it's like supposed to be, I thought it's supposed to be like a kids entry into the franchise again, because, you know, Transformers has kind of gotten away from that. That being said, I've heard very good things about the movie from people that have seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not a big fan of the robot designs. I mean, from a toy collector standpoint, like I think they look kind of generic, but people said the movie's actually really good. They said it's actually the best Transformers thing that's been out, you know, come out in a long time. But it bombed at the box office, and people didn't see this coming. They actually projected this one to hit $35-40 million. And like Walmart's got these like massive displays for this movie full of figures, and it bombed. It did $25 million, which is way under projections. And this is another blow for Hasbro. So it got beat by Beetlejuice too. And now we did see that one. We actually went, we took our daughter to go see it opening weekend. She is a huge Beetlejuice fan, and it was good. It was actually really good. And, you know, we've been talking about how Hollywood seems to be course correcting. And this year, especially, there are a lot of movies and sequels coming out that are actually pretty okay. And I would say Beetlejuice 2 was definitely one of those, at least my personal opinion. And I heard Transformers was pretty good too, but I just think it's a damaged franchise. I think that the Bayformers movies has definitely damaged it. I think Rise of the Beasts, I think they had some goodwill, at least fan goodwill, with Bumblebee, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the only live action Transformers movie that exists, just Bumblebee. That's it. That's my headcanon. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, they went from that to Rise of the Beasts, which was... I mean, it wasn't as bad as a Bay movie, but it wasn't great either. And it didn't do very well. And I didn't know why they thought that doing a completely CGI prequel and the characters don't look anything like the movie versions of them. You know what I'm saying? It was a very weird. I thought when they said they were going to do a CGI prequel to Transformers, I thought it was going to be basically 2 hours of the opening sequence of Bumblebee. And I would have been completely down with that. Instead, they kind of went in a totally different direction. And yeah, it just didn't do very good. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to Clownfish Minus, the non-plussed plus club, and get access to members only exclusives. Help support the channel, guys. You get 50% off your first month. And if you do an annual membership, you get 10% off. So check it out. We're trying to build a life raft, guys, because I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube. I have a not so fresh feeling about YouTube. There's some weird stuff going on, but we're going to try to spread our content out a little bit more. You can also subscribe to the Clownfish TV audio edition, wherever you find podcasts, and Derezzed as well. We're bringing that back. Let's talk about this. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Again, just to remind you, they said this movie was supposed to do 30 to 40 million. It was supposed to be #1 this weekend, and they spent a lot of money marketing this movie. And yeah, they're saying Transformers 1 lost to Beetlejuice in surprise upset. The Paramount and Hasbro Entertainment movie had been expected to easily top the domestic chart with 30 million or more. Instead, it came in at $25 million. So this is another, like, Paramount and Hasbro are both not in a very good place right now. And this is another blow. You know, but to me, again, it looked like just another CGI Transformers kids show. And regardless of whether or not it was good, that's not really the issue. Because there have been movies that came out this year that people thought were good and they still bombed. The issue is the public perception. Does it look good enough to go to the theater for? And to me, this looked like a streaming show. Just my personal opinion. Doesn't mean it's bad. Just didn't look like something that was worth going to the theater for. And I love Transformers. Paramount and Hasbro released Transformers 1. It was expected to open to at least 30 to 35 million. At least. I heard 40. I was hearing 40. 30 to 35 million in North America, more than enough to top the chart. Instead, came in at 26 million from almost 4,000 theaters versus an estimated 26 million from 4,100 locations for Beetlejuice, which is now in its third weekend. Transformers had held a slight edge as of Saturday morning. But the necessary traffic needed to eke out a victory did not materialize. The unwelcome news comes despite glowing reviews, awards buzz, an A CinemaScore, and an exceptional post-track exit score. But Paramount and Hasbro always knew they were taking a risk by returning to the franchise's roots and making a CGI animated film with a family-friendly PG rating versus a PG-13 live-action extravaganza targeting fanboys. Okay. The movie hoped to play to both demos similar to Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse movies. So far, the turnout has been soft. Chatter on social media indicates that some franchise fans were confused as to the film's animated status. Yeah, again, when they announced they were going to do a prequel to the Bayformer movies, I honestly thought they were going to do 2 hours of the intro of Bumblebee. That's what I was expecting, but whatever. The original 1986 Transformers movie was a massive failure, and that was at the peak of the franchise's popularity. It was one of those things, right? It was like it just, I think to a lot of parents, it's just like, why am I paying for a Saturday morning cartoon? Why am I? And we had a lot of those as kids. Like we had, and the Care Bear movie actually did pretty good, but we had Care Bears, and God, they had Transformers, they had the My Little Pony, they had Rainbow Bright had a movie. Like all these 80s characters had these movies, but they're basically just like 90-minute versions of the cartoon show. Transformers the movie is freaking awesome. I mean, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time, but like I can see it being a parent now. I can be like, yeah, I'm going to take my kids to go see that because it's like it's just the same thing. We'll wait till it's out on VHS or on HBO or something, right? That was the 80s version of streaming. We'll wait till it's on HBO. The movie opened overseas, grossing only $14 million from 50 markets. Damn. The jury's out on the film's ultimate fate. The modestly budgeted event pick, co-financed by Hasbro, cost $75 million before marketing, which minimizes the sting of the weak domestic opening. Okay, so it wasn't that expensive, but it looked like a streaming show to me. The hope now is they can find its footing and enjoy a long run in theaters based on strong exits and reviews, although the entry of DreamWorks' The Wild Robot next weekend. Oh my God, The Wild Robot comes out next weekend. Oh, they're fucked. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm hearing nothing but amazing things about this movie. Yeah, The Wild Robot. Yeah, they're done. The Wild Robot next weekend could complicate matters, at least on the family front. Wild Robot, I am hearing very, very, very good things about. Directed by Pixar alum Josh Cooley, Transformers 1 is an origin story chronicling how two of the most iconic Transformers, Optimus Prime and Megatron, went from best friends to arch nemesis. Well, that's not how it was in G1, actually. They weren't really best friends. That's not how it worked. But here they're talking about Beetlejuice. They said, weekend box office upset. This is from Deadline. Beetlejuice at $26 million dispels Transformers 1 from number one. Halle Berry and Demi Moore genre picks come up short. I don't know. Yeah, I said at the end of the day to see one. Yeah, so what did Beetlejuice do? It had an $11.8 million Saturday. The Transformers $9.1 million. At the end of the day, to see one franchise triumph over another by a margin, that's a rich man's problem or a major studio's problem. It's bountiful for exhibition. Yeah, movies are kind of rebounding, but again, the quality of the movies are improving, right? In the last year, especially, and I'm thinking back on it, and I know like your boy Zach has been whacking the beehive with all of his birthday party clown talk and all that. But like, I'm thinking back this year and I'm like, yeah, there's actually been some pretty good movies this year. I mean, this is the first time in a long time where I can say that there were actually probably more good movies than bad movies as far as, franchises go. And it does seem like the studios are starting to get with the program now. And I think this is the reality of the post-pandemic world, right? We can't afford the luxury of putting movies out there that aren't going to perform. And this did, I mean, for a cartoon, this did okay. It did better than the 86 movie. But yeah, they said Rise of the Beasts did $438 million. It made more than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Damn. Here's the movie opening just a few notches above Bumblebee's $21.6 million. Bumblebee is still hands down the best of the Transformers live action movies, in my opinion. And the average mid 20 million range of September animated movies. Yeah, I think it being 100% animated definitely hurt it, right? But yeah, the Bayformers movies are freaking terrible. The last couple especially. Like, I never finished the fifth one. Was it last night? I'll be honest, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had no idea what was going on with the plot. I tried watching it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I literally do not know. I cannot follow this movie. It is a mess. So I will give Rise of the Beast that. At least I knew what the hell was going on. I just didn't like the fact that Optimus Prime was a dick. I hate when they make Optimus Prime a dick. He's not a dick. He's like your robot dad. He's not a dick. Yeah, so there we go, guys. This is kind of surprising, and you know, just because the movie got pummeled at the box office doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. But it's another black eye for Hasbro, another black eye for Paramount. It's not going to help things. I'm sure the investors are going to be asking Hasbro questions. I mean, this is a company that's not doing good. They're talking about moving to Boston now and getting away from making toys. It's like, what the hell are you doing, Hasbro? What are you doing? I don't want one of these naked guys in there. What is this? Stupid Norelco ad? Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. We'll talk later. Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.